Well, fuck my face. We're going back in back time. You're saturated with wet with Palm Swipes After, a belly button smeller of the latest episode of Mom Swipes Left, a podcast with two middle aged women who scour the webs so you don't have to. This is episode 95, about MSL, episode 23.3. I'm your host, Pomme de Terre. Enjoy. General shit list agreed upon. It is rainy in Maine. It's like au gratin down here. Au gratin? Like creamy cheese. Wet creamy cheese within the tater zone. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not coming up with more things about that. Jen had a PSA about face douches or the use of a neti pot. I'm questioning whether the medical professional who advised her against using a neti truly was doing so as much as she insists. I think it can actually be an effective way to stave off sinus infections, and it's just fun to see all the holes connect. It's unfathomable. Goes in one nose hole and out the other. It's crazy. I did learn from her tirade about problems with douching and how it causes a high dose of phthalates, microplastics, to come into contact with the velveteen vaginal wall, and that also douching is historically racist. What isn't? Because women of color were shamed into thinking they stank. So there's a higher use of douches amongst women of color than the whiteys. And that is why Jen and Carol have never met anyone who douches. Jen saw, no, Carol saw. See, can't even keep them apart. I love Hot Mom's t shirt. Jen wants one. Who's going to get it for her? Will it be Thirsty Ken? Oh, probably. That's all I got on that. Notable news sung into Sweet Dreams, which was lovely, though I don't know what the hell Carol was going for with her Annie Lennox impression. It might have actually been her Britney Spears impression in Annie Lennox Eurythmics song. Story about Furious Dan and who I'm calling Maniacal Mandy wanting to name their baby Lucifer. Carol posed a good question about how Lucifer gets a bad name just because somebody wrote a book, which I assume she means the Bible, although I'd have to look that up and I'm too lazy to do so. Does the Bible even talk about Lucifer by name? I feel like the whole Lucifer as a fallen angel mythology is completely separate from biblical writings. And I haven't read the Bible, so how would I know? Jen challenged Carol to die from the hiccups. We also learned about digital eyeball pressure and digital rectal massage, which won a scientist the Diddle in the Butthole Prize for curing hiccups. There was a fun game of normal words that make you laugh, except only Carol laughed and was pissed off about that. I agree that you want it to be words that just kind of come up in everyday conversation. So I was with Carol on exposed manhole being good cocktail talk that might glean a spit take. I often like to talk about my favorite African nation that's right near the Horn of Africa. It's called Djibouti. There was a good segment on celebrity conspiracy theories, and I learned that I know very few of these types of celebrities, although Carol did an awesome job doing it. Looking at my notes, I think Jen said bantied about, and it's nitpicking to point out that it's bandied. I also wrote down what could be funny words if said properly. Echolocation, agog. And just because, well, in case it didn't make it into next week's episode, I would say this episode is one of MSL's greatest hits. That be all.